Send in the clowns. Why do you want to join the circus, Lance? Asked the ringmaster and owner of the Grand Golden Circus. I like to entertain, and have had experience. I was a stage magician for years. I felt like trying something new, for a while, said Lance Alexander Sr. We have a lot of people coming to me asking to join the circus because they want to run away with it. The ringmaster Craig Thompson said, I'm glad to hear you aren't one of them. You can bunk in Harry's caravan. A clown opened the door to it. What do you want, Craig? Asked Harry. I got you a housemate. Lance is joining the circus, Craig said. What does he do? Asked Harry. He's a magician and sword swallower. He wants to be a clown according to his resume, Craig said. I'll help him, said Harry. Lance smiled, feeling slightly guilty he had come to kill Harry as a serial killer clown. Harry had not been caught or even suspected yet. But Lance's boss Fate knew and sent Lance to stop Harry's reign of terror. This is Lance Alexander, said Craig. Harry Jenkins is our head clown at the circus. Harry let them in his caravan and shook Lance by his hand. Welcome to the family, Lance, Harry said, noting Lance was trembling nervously. You don't have to worry, we don't bite, said Harry, lying he was a vampire and Lance knew it. Lance smiled amiably. He had nothing against vampires. He raised his niece. She was a vampire, as was her husband and daughter. The thing he didn't like was killers who didn't care about life and the living. Harry didn't care for either. Harry was just being polite and covering for himself. I look forward to seeing you act before you are let in the show, said Harry. Me too, to be honest, said Lance, trying to keep up the pretense of being nervous, so his true intentions weren't suspected. Do you have a costume? Harry asked. No, but I think I can wrangle on up, said Lance, smiling nervously. Lance planned to enchant a costume with magic, real magic. He was a great and powerful enchanter, not that he looked it. It's all right, boy, said Harry, trying to calm the younger-looking man. Lance was much older than he seemed. He was 900 years old, but he looked in his mid-20s and had looked that old since he was in his mid-20s. Harry was 200 but looked 40, which was the age Harry had become a vampire. Lance knew Harry was younger but kept up the pretense of young age. Lance smiled. Later in the big top, Lance stood holding a big, great sword. Aren't you going to use a smaller sword? Asked Harry. Lance laughed. No, I like this sword, said Lance, who wanted an excuse to be armed in case Harry misbehaved or found out why he was there. But isn't it too big? Asked Harry, not wanting to see Lance kill himself. He was squeamish. No, said Lance seriously. Have you done this before? Asked Harry nervously. No, Lance said, undaunted. Are you ready? Asked Craig, walking in the tent. Yes, said Lance confidently, playing with the sword. He said, to prove it's a real sword, I shall now do an old Zorro trick. Lance waved the sword and cut a candle with its blade. Harry felt worse. He thought the kid had a death wish. Lance noticed it. This made Lance more confident and brazen. He liked messing with people's minds. Lance swallowed the sword and removed it in an extravagant swift sweeping move as if it was nothing. Harry watched on with amazement. How did you do it? Asked Harry in awe of the trick, which was a basic magic trick for Lance. A magician never reveals his secrets. I'd have to kill you if I told you how it was done, but I'd happily try it on you, Lance said. Harry laughed uncontrollably, thinking Lance was only joking, but Lance was being deadly earnest. You kill me, said the laughing vampire. Lance grinned and chuckled darkly.